Look, you two, it's the sea, Riddis exclaims, frolicking in glee. You, on the other hand, trudge along as far as you can from the coast, ignoring the hair sticking to your forehead.
Yum?
Feeling something at your feet, you glance down. There's something underneath your boot. It appears you've stepped on a monster's cape, making it very upset. It attacks you in fury.
Aw. I was gonna say it looks kind of cute, actually. It is kind of cute. It's also very beefy.
Don't hold back.
Ensures all allies and enemies' attacks land. Good to know. But also bad to know because this is gonna hurt. So is this game good? In my opinion, I like it a lot. Okay, they don't actually do that much damage. I'm gonna freeze this one, if I can. So, I like it a lot, however, it is definitely, short. So if you're looking for, like, a really long JRPG experience, this is not going to be it. This is approximately ow. This is approximately like a 10 to 12 hour game, depending on how long you're going. I think it takes a little bit longer if you're trying to be, like, super hundo. Okay, that's the stuff. But as somebody that's been playing a lot of old school JRPGs lately, just kind of for funsies, this ranks really high, actually. Yeah, it's nice. Most JRPGs are too damn long. Nice to see one that's under 50 hours. You know, the interesting thing is that's a very modern thing. You know, playing Final Fantasy 1 was 10 hours. 11 hours? Final Fantasy 2 was 20. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that I was doing weird grinding stuff. Final Fantasy 3 is like 12 hours. That they didn't get a lot longer. Oh, good. Bonus recovery rate. We're probably, well, I don't know. We'll see. So, I would definitely say, like, if you want a shorter JRPG or just something that's kind of... It's familiar but different enough that it stands on its own, this one ranks pretty well. If you want something longer that's, like, really going to be worth the money that you put in, you're probably better off with many other games. But I don't know, for me, there's just a lot of things about this that I'm super jazzed about. And yeah, knowing that it's a 9-hour game, it means I'll be done with it in fairly short order. Holy shit, they were worth a lot of EXP. Light damage to all enemies. Ooh. And she gets charge spell, generate 2 gems, which is kind of okay. Does she get anything? No. Seems like newer games are more of an experience to be done faster, kind of like a movie, sort of. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that there are too many games on the market at the moment, and that I'm gonna say more experience-focused games are generally better received on the market compared to games that are designed to just eat your time. Oh no, it's this man!
Says the fishing industry is usually thriving in their seaside town, but recently nets have been coming up empty. He mentions that even the fishing harbor to the northwest has been suffering from poor hauls of late.
You fulfilled the necessary requirements and unlocked the Muscle Man's Flipside story. Yup. Yeah, for some reason, fishermen
you hear
in this game...
a roar in the distance. According to the townsfolk, it is a very recent phenomenon. Rumor in the village has it that it might be the dragon.
Modern as in late 90s and onwards? I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming a lot of the reason why JRPGs got long are a result of the PlayStation 2 era JRPGs. And PlayStation 1. I know Final Fantasy VI is a lot longer than 3, but I don't know how long that one clocks in. I know 7 and 8 get pretty long too. Nutrition clinic. Well, one way or another, I'm mostly just here for the armorer. Because I want to see if I could get some new equipment for Mar. Because, yeah, we've already got those frost mail. Ooh. Well, I have enough money. But, yeah, let's get the deep talons. Because that gets him some armor and gets him a lot of damage. Select who will equip the armor. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Some of the armor sets do apply to different characters. What else do we have? Okay, no new interesting rings. But we do have the frost mail, which is great for the main character. Does slow him down, but I think it's worth it. I'll get that legendary sword someday. Okay, let's close out of this. Let's sell some of that old gear that I've got sitting around. Because I've probably got a ton. We might want to sell some of the items too. Yeah, we absolutely should. Any games that you're excited to play near future? There's a couple. Let me pull up my list while we're just selling some things. So, I will admit, I don't have much of a, I don't want to say like foresight per se, but I really truly do not look that far ahead when it comes to looking forward to games. Largely just because I don't have enough time to do so. Mario Party, no. Unpacking, time loader, no. You know what? I actually don't have anything written down at the moment. Solar Ash Kingdom is the one that immediately comes to mind. That's a game that I know is coming out later this month, and it looks really good. It's made by the people that made Hyper Light Drifter, which, like, that's a pretty good indication that it's going to be fantastic. Or at least interesting. Alright, so what is the nutrition clinic?
There is a sign on the door. Not home. Come back later.
Fair enough. Oh, shoot. Is the item shop still here? Yes. I'm going to sell some things. Because we have a number of items that we don't need. I'm going to keep the salves. I might keep the curatives. But we don't really care about, like, oil pot. Like, it's nice. But I'm just never going to remember to use it. And to some degree, that's not worth using. If it didn't take up a turn to use, then it would be more worthwhile. But because it takes up a whole turn, I'd rather just get rid of it and save room for more salves if I really need them. Okay. I want to sell. What can I buy? Okay. Looks like it's just kind of the standard stuff. Not like we're going into a whole lot of dungeons to even justify needing a bellwether. None of my guys have died yet, so I haven't needed anything in that
How may
regard
I help
either.
you? The proprietress inquires.
So what does she have? Salves, yes. Antidotes, defroster. So just cure status effect for the most part. Cure target of elemental resist. Oh, serum is not nearly as good as I thought it was going to be. Like the invigorant, the protectorant might be kind of good. Maybe.
Will that be all?
I guess if you're going
the
for any like
proprietress
particularly
asks?
big hits. But I'm not. Okay. Well, we've gotten the gear that we're looking for. I'll come back to this town when the story actually supports it. For now, do we clear the map? Probably, yeah. I should probably save. If the enemies down in this general direction are kind of like that dragon, those dragon dudes, then I want to be ready for it. Yeah, unfortunately, if you want to know games that I'm really looking forward to, the best time to ask me that sort of thing is always when I'm not streaming. Because when I'm not streaming, I can easily pull up, like, my greater list of resources.
Don't hold back.
Okay, that is a weird-looking something or other. Holy shit, 50 defense. That's spooky. try a lightning strike on it. Okay, doesn't quite kill it. But that's fine. There we go. I think that at least kills the wood creature at the very least.
Fortune
but nothing
favors
more.
the bold.
Because, yeah, I'd very much like to actually sit down and put some more time into keeping track of so many games, but, like, they constantly get... Oh, it resisted that. Right. I forgot. Games constantly keep getting pushed back and switched around, delayed, canceled, and so on and so forth. So it's really difficult for me to actually, like... I don't want to say, like, care about things unless they're actually... you know, in my Steam library and installed and ready to go. Provoke all enemies' attention until next action is taken. Huh. Maybe. Can we do that on Discord? Yeah, it's ask and suggest games. It's one of the categories on my Discord, and yeah, you can go to that and just ask me at any point, like, hey, what do you think about this game? I might not always answer, but I try to. I bet poison and deadly poison are different things. Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, Slash isn't that good. Oh, no. This is probably fine. What I want to do is, though, get him a team heal. Maybe. Oh, Barren Harbor. I think I'll leave that for later.
You are surprised to find a merchant selling goods in a place like this.
Take a peek at her wares? Heck yeah.
You decide to take a look, and the merchant welcomes you energetically. These are my unsold wares. I would be happy to sell to you for a fraction of the price, the old woman says as she lines up some medicine bottles before you.
All right. Ooh. Here's target of curse. I'll buy one of those. Pepper upper. Insper, but we have tons of that. I think the other thing I'd want to get would be like maybe a couple of quality salves. Let's just buy a ton of them. There we go. Rip money, but now we got a bunch of quality salves, so if I get biffed around a little bit too much in battle.
I'm closing for the day, she announces as she packs up her goods. It seems you won't be able to do any more shopping here.
They most likely are. It's like poison and badly poisoned in Pokemon. Yeah, especially because the poison status effect does like 1 to 6 damage, which like early on, that's kind of dangerous. After a certain point, not so dangerous.
You come across 2 men sitting on a rock. They take no notice of you or the party, but you can hear their fervent discussion. You listen in, and
okay,
you
they're
lean in,
thieves.
Listen about that loot. Head south from the harbor. It sounds
okay, cool.
like you hastily grab a scrap of paper,
I'll leave
write
that for later.
down what you've heard, and quietly sneak away.
There we go. Oh, piece of armor. Drop the knight's armor. But I don't have it. Maybe I should save my equipment. Oh well. Hope you see the Northern Lights wander. I'm open too. I've never seen them, and I'm looking forward to it. 800 gold, hell yeah. But yeah, one thing I would very much like to start doing. Unfortunately, a lot of the things that I want to start doing really are going to start coming at the cost. Oh, it's this again. Coming at the cost of like me working on streaming, for example. It's a monster. What will you do? Rush up to it.
Drawing upon your courage, you toss the janky telescope aside and charge ahead with your friends. Looks like a monster, but it's not moving like any monster you've ever seen. The sight of you startles it away.
Oh, no. Well, next time.
You can't go in there. That's the ocean.
But what if I want to swim? Let's see. Okay, we haven't finished this area out. But yeah, I've got a lot of stuff that I want to do, but a lot of it comes somewhat at the Nameless Shrine.
A bizarre rock appeared. It seems primed to explode.
Roll the dice to see what it becomes after it explodes. 3.
The bizarre rock
holy shit.
transformed into a fear rock. The only way out of this fight is through it.
You know, in the demo, those were loot pinatas. In this one, it's terrifying. Happy Halloween, everybody. This is freaking spooky. Alright, so we want to do Zephyr? Zephyr. Wow, that did nothing to it. Shoot. Do we just try a rolling claw on it? Yeah, why not? Freaking tanky sucker. This might take some doing.
Oh?
Ow! Freezing it might have been the best idea I could have done. We're just gonna hit it.
That was
That's gonna take a while. It's gonna take longer than I care to, but it's fine. Oh boy. On the plus side, hopefully this thing gives a lot of EXP. Uh-oh. No, the damage on this thing isn't too bad. I was expecting far worse. Freeze it. Yeah. Oh, it's weak to ice. Good to know. Alright, and we get a decent amount of EXP and gold. Do we get anything else? Or is that it? Nope, that was it. Dang. There's a small flock of hummingbirds outside my window. Aw. I like hummingbirds. They sound awful, though. It's weird. They're like the cutest, one of the cutest birds, but they sound atrocious. Just, I think? I forget. They have high tweets. All allies and enemies take 3 damage. Rude. Okay, I'm just gonna freeze the brawl goblin, the broblin, if I can. Nope. Ow. I think it does like bonus damage to him though. I'll take it. All right. Let's heal her up. So, a flock of hummingbirds is also known as a bouquet of glittering, a hover, a shimmer, or a tune. Aw. Die. There we go. Man, what was I talking about? Oh, right. Upcoming games lists and stuff. Like, it's something I very much want to do. I just have to actually sit down and do it, which unfortunately just means, like, eschewing time from somewhere else. One thing I'm definitely trying to do is less overall series and focus on finishing the ones that I do. Because I think that helps a lot and gives me a lot more time to do things. Let's go for this one. Step Smoke. Which I'm probably just going to sell. I'd also like to just compile more lists of like, hey, these were actually like the really good games that came out this year. That were worth people's time. Because, like, it's gotten to the point where there are more games coming out every single day that, like, I'd love to do playthroughs on than I can feasibly finish. Let's see. Well, can't miss. If I remember right, these guys are weak to... Are they weak to ice? Or maybe it just does damage. Okay, do I want to try a spinning ray? Yeah, let's try it. Alright, that does look pretty cool. Let's see. And Bango. He heals a bit. Why has nobody else picked up any interesting abilities? Like, it's only him that has the heal 3 after every fight. I'd love to see some more interesting, like, effects and perks that I could switch between. Maybe somebody has, like, a compiled list that I can take a look at and be like, oh, these characters have this. I'm obsessed with the idea of builds. I got a Ring of Protection. That's okay. Oh boy. Well, multiply gold earned from victory by 2 times.
That's
gonna be worth it. Okay. Set that on fire. Do we do the light move or do we do the roundhouse? Roundhouse is... No, let's hit this guy and go for the light hit instead.
Excellent.
Okay. And Spinning Ray, because that's going to do the most amount of damage to the weird water beast. Or it's actually going to do Bupkis to it. Shoot. Well, that didn't work. It's fine. Aha! You tried to freeze me, but you failed. Is this a roguelike? Nope. It's a JRPG. A dang good one, though. Let's see. How much damage does... Damn. Oh, right. It's weak to lightning. That's his deal. Even... Nah, we're just gonna hit this thing. Ice Guy is gonna take a little while to chunk through. But maybe the lightning move will do the trick. I would actually... no. I don't know. Like, I love me some roguelikes, but not every game should be a roguelike. And I feel like a roguelike JRPG with cards could be really cool for some people, but gosh, it would be such a slog, though. Ah, it's a treant. Makes sense. Because I was playing a little bit of Darkest Dungeon this week, not too much of it. Because I love the idea of Darkest Dungeon, but the execution is always just long. You know, runs can either take you an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, or most likely like a 4 or 5 hour experience for Darkest Dungeon 2. And then Darkest Dungeon 1 is just kind of grinding.
That was lucky.
And like, I absolutely can see why people love that sort of thing. But from my perspective, it is just exhausting. I think Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter was a JRPG roguelike. I heard it had some kind of roguelike-y bits to it. I don't know too much beyond that, unfortunately. No, that's gonna do nothing to this sucker. She does have Thunderstorm, but I'd have to farm the points for it. How's attack calculated? It's a little... I don't want to say random. So your attack damage is in the bottom corner. And it scales based on that. That barely hurt me. Good to know. All I have to do is hurt it once. There we go. So, yeah, your damage is in the bottom left corner, and then cards kind of modify it from there. But then also there's, like, elemental weaknesses. Shockwave, bolt damage, inflict paralysis if roll of 4 or higher. Ooh. I mean, that's actually pretty good. I might consider bringing Ridis in instead of Melanie. Maybe. I'll think about it. Oh, it's a bizarre rock. Roll the dice, see what it becomes. Is it fear? No, it's something different.
The bizarre rock transformed into an aqua rock. The only way out of this fight is through it.
Well, at least I know how to fight this thing. I've actually only ever played... Wait, I'm just gonna have her pass. She barely does any damage. Let's see. I'm just gonna hit it. That's a little bit.
That was lucky.
Let's see. But yeah, the only Breath of Fire games I've ever played, I played the beginning of Breath of Fire 3. Oof. It's fine. I played the beginning of Breath of Fire 3 and I really loved it. I think I put a lot of time into Breath of Fire 2. Almost got to the end, but the final dungeon was bullshit. I think I could beat it handily now. And I want to see if I can get my hands on it at some point. That's a good hit. But then, yeah, beyond that, never really played any of the other Breath of Fire games. Would really love to. I remember seeing Dragon Quarter at the local GameStop over and over and over again and always wanting it. But my parents were very much like, yeah, but you already have Final Fantasy. Play Final Fantasy. I'm like, but I want to try this one. And nowadays, I just don't know where it would be even available, if it is available anywhere. I don't know. I feel like Square Enix especially should go on this just absolutely insane quest to make all of their games available on PC. As kind of like a, hey, our games are just like perpetually available, you know, for people to play as much as they want. And then maybe every like 5-10 years they port it up.
Fortune favors the bold.
They would get most of my money that way. I mean, I definitely dumped $70 on the Pixel remasters, and I do not regret it in the slightest. And did I pick up the Romancing Saga games recently? I don't actually know if I bought those yet. I might be waiting for a sale on that. If they remade them, they get all of it. Oh gosh. I know a lot of people were kind of iffy on the Final Fantasy VII R stuff.
Of paper dropped by some manner of monster. It has a message scrawled on it in crude lettering.
Stolen treasure, Harbor Peninsula, where see the sea.
Clearly, whoever dropped this message did not want to forget where the stolen treasure is hidden. You stash the scrap of paper in your pack and resolve to keep an eye out for the treasure on your travels.
I should probably look for those. Speaking of, there's something about the harbor. South, across the mountain. Oh, it's probably over here.
Something's catching the sunlight just so. You move closer to get a better look at it. You find a chest lodged in the hollow of a tree. Something about this feels familiar. You fish a note out of your pack. Sure enough, this is the location those thieves mentioned when you were eavesdropping. Quite convinced you've found their stash, you open the chest with a self-satisfied smirk on your face.
Whoa, Warrior's Mail. That looks cool. Sadly, it's still no special effects or anything, but it still looks cool. And I mean, it's good stuff from R. Knight's Chainmail? No. Warrior Mail. Now our beef friend is even beefier. Hell yeah. An enemy appears. Hello, enemy. Enemy? How's this business again? I'm just gonna pass. Because we're gonna do a lightning strike on him. If she didn't go first, we can start with the thunderstorm. But getting Mar to go first would be tough. I guess if I brought Ridis along, who also has a bolt move. But that would mean putting the good boy away. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't want to put the good boy away. There we go. get zapped. Solid. And now each one of these guys actually has a pretty good AoE. I'd like to get her a big fire AoE. I think that, well, I don't know. Maybe we don't have a whole lot of fire weakened enemies even to deal with. Curative. I'll take it. Okay, we fulfilled the story. Oh, right. We got the armor out of the treasure chest. Oh, Musty Tower. I think I'm going to ignore that, though. Because that very much seems like story stuff. And I want to put those off, not for as long as possible. But, you know, put them off all the same. That's a big hit. Let's see. Do I do a roundhouse? No. Because we want to save up so she can do the thunderstorm. If we get lucky. And, ooh, this might one-shot it. Nope. 6 damage. It's fine. We got it for the next round. Ow. 1 damage. One thing I gotta say about this game that I am really enjoying, there's no number bloat. Like, obviously this thing has a gazillion defense, but beyond that, it still only had 10 HP and 15 damage. You know, I've been playing a lot of... Over the years, you play tons of JRPGs or MMOs or whatever, where it's just like, I do 30,000 damage, and there's just... You don't feel at all connected to that number. It's just, it's too big for you to really, like, form an attachment to. Whereas, like, for this one, 1 or 2 points of damage means a lot. And so squeaking out those extra bits of damage or the extra bits of survivability, like, that goes a long way. Let's see, do we do Spinning Ray? Sure. I just like the special effects for it. Unfortunately, we needed maybe some of that for... whatever, it's fine. Biff the Goblin. Goblin dead. Or it's just healing itself. Hell yeah. That makes my life easy. Nope, not wind. Flame. Perfect. And when the numbers don't scale, the game feels less big, but... when the numbers don't scale, the game seems less real, but big numbers make brain happy. I guess. I don't know. Big number makes brain happy for like a bit. But I feel like diminishing returns solves that pretty quickly. Cookie Clicker, for example. I feel like the best parts of Cookie Clicker, I don't know. I think there's a lot of different good bits on Cookie Clicker necessarily. Sort of, Hey, I'm not actually sure what that's going to do for him, but that's going to help me out a lot. I'm just going to wait on this one. Let's just hit it. But...
Nice work.
Like, whenever I have big number, you know, maybe I'll hit for big number once and be like, whoa, that was big number. And then after that point, that's when I kind of hit that mental state of just like, yeah, but now it's just all big number. It's so much more satisfying when you hit for big number once in a blue moon, but otherwise you do like no damage. So playing Inscription, for example, I hit an infinite loop. Where the game just was playing itself and everything was dying.
You did great.
And I think I was winning. I'm pretty sure I was winning. And it was really fun. And then the game took it away from me and said, never mind. Like, you shouldn't be able to do this. And that was really satisfying. And I'm glad I never replicated it because it would be super uninteresting. Enjoyed milestones in Final Fantasy. First 1,000 hit, first 9,999 hit. And then in Final Fantasy X where you can hit past everything. That's a good point. Once you start limit breaking, it starts feeling really satisfying. Okay, let's try Roundhouse. Astria Ascending had that problem. All the character stats and main equipment had biggish numbers, but all the stat boosting accessories only gave 2 or 4 even at the late game. Completely useless. Ugh, that sucks. And that slash move actually does a lot of damage, though the enemy had minimal defense, so go figure. Deckard levels up, but no perks. I'm here for the perks. Okay, so let's take a look. Oh, right, I just pan around. I think I've explored the whole map. Because that's impassable forest. There's that man. And then there was something about the Harbor Peninsula. Okay, let's check the menu. It was collection... Is it key items? No, it ain't that. Monsters. There's something about being able to keep this stuff. Where are the clues? Because it said we wrote the clues down. Maybe it's owned items? Ah, monster menu 1 and 2. So stolen treasure, cave, and mountain past near fountain. Versus stolen treasure, harbor peninsula, where see the sea. Where see the sea? What is... Unless it's the Musty Tower. Unless it's one of these. Okay, gain 3 gems. Oh, hell yeah. This is not necessarily worth it, but I'm doing it anyway. Big damage. Yeah, it's not very good against Tree Boy, but that's okay. Because I can just roll nothing but AoEs here. Hell yeah. Oh man, I wonder if there's any accessories that just give me starting gems. That would be wild. I would love that. You know, actually, I'm gonna write that down. One of the big, I wish more items and perks affected the gem. Okay. Yeah, I wish more of the items and perks affected the gem and dice. Because none of them do. But, like, imagine if, for example, you had a sword that replaced all of your damage with just dice. Or boosted the damage that you do with your dice. I don't know how to describe it beyond that. But, like, it would be really cool, for example, if instead of just doing +4 damage, it's +4 damage plus 1 die 6. Or, say you do, like, splash damage to nearby enemies or something like that.
Though a torch is not strictly necessary, it would certainly help you find your way through the dimly lit shrine.
Okay. Check the Nameless Shrine for signs of Mr. Flobby. Do we pop the torch? I don't actually know if we need it. It looks like it's bright enough. Okay.
Your footing is obscured in the dimness of the shrine. You should probably proceed with caution.
Go carefully.
You go forth slowly but steadily, taking it one step at a time. I think you made the right choice. You take a good look at the floor and see it lined in trails of viscous liquid. No doubt a slime or 200 have passed through here.
I wonder if the slime... I don't know why they said I needed a torch. Okay, that's got to be the dark-coated man. Is this it for the cave? I was expecting more. Hello?
It looks like poor Mr. Flobby is being held captive by the mystery man. Hand over that slime, you shout to the man in the dark. You speak as if I kidnapped him, he remarks, curtly turning to face you. When your eyes finally adjust to the surrounding darkness, you realize the man's clothes look eerily similar to Melanie's. Melanie's mouth falls open in surprise. It seems the man has noticed Melanie as well. It looks like the two know each other.
What do you suppose their relationship is? They are wearing matching outfits.
The man says that he and Melanie came from the same village, where this was their native dress. The man's revelation makes you realize that you know almost nothing about Melanie's past.
You take the chance to find out more. Ooh, music's changed. I think I'm gonna have to find the soundtrack for this game. It's really good.
You ask Melanie about her hometown, but she holds her tongue. Then the man speaks. With forbidden magic, our clan has ensured the dragon, he begins, when Melanie cuts in.
Would awaken or would slumber forever?
She rattles on about the man, telling you that he is Vince, a lunatic obsessed with the dragon. Vince resentfully claims that he is searching for the noble dragon to protect it. You ran away from home with your tail between your legs, he ridicules. Enraged, Melanie lunges at Vince. You have so many questions, but realize that the most pressing matter is getting Mr. Flobby back, so you ready for battle. Careful, he won't go down easy.
Okay. Tough sucker. Append stance will trigger. Extra defense for everybody. Honestly, that works for me. He's got a lot of HP, but his damage isn't that great. Bam. Alright, now here's the question. Is he... no, he resists freezing. Dang. Okay. Do I actually... yeah, I'll just heal. Because it's better to stay topped off than try and risk it. I don't know how much damage this guy does. I could have maybe considered going for the regeneration, but honestly, we've done enough damage to him already. I might as well just wail on him. Oh, gosh, he's weak. Never mind. This isn't even remotely close to a problem for me. Do we even bother freezing him? No. Let's save the gems specifically so Mar can hit him big instead. That's a decent hit. It's a decent hit. Not much of a boss fight, but I have overgrinded. I find exploring the whole map usually gives me more than enough oomph to just blast my way through things.
During the fight, Vince asks, "Do you know the truth about that village?" The headman may look like a nice old man, but he keeps those little monsters around to... he begins.
Called it.
But before he can finish... Winifred, Hedwin, and Berwin of the Ivory Order appear. The three brush you aside, fixing their attention on Vince. "So you are the one who disturbs the peace," they exclaim, then charge at him. The Ivory Order and that false justice they serve are the true evil here, he retaliates, fighting back.
Well, Vince looks like he wants to say something, but no money. Mar leveled up though. Hey, still no cool perks. Lightning proof. Eh.
Seeing the two parties occupied with each other, you realize this is your chance to grab Mr. Flobby.
Save Mr. Flobby.
Perhaps wary of humans, Mr. Flobby dashes out when you draw near.
Mr. Flobby escaped from the shrine. Catch him.
Vince is on equal footing with the three from the Order. You realize then that he wasn't fighting in earnest against you earlier. Engrossed in their battle, the combatants pay you no mind.
Nah, it's the same deal. I was expecting this to be more of a dungeon. It was not. I wonder what would have been like. Was there a point to me using a torch in there? I didn't for a reason.
When you reach out to grab Mr. Flobby, he suddenly attacks. Lower Mr. Flobby's stamina to calm him down.
Shit. I see no scenario in which I might escape. No ailments, no buffs.
Exhausted from the fight, the raging Mr. Flobby finally stops attacking. But it seems he hasn't yet come to his senses. He glares warily at your party. Find something to help return Mr. Flobby to normal.
Salve, Mistral Blade, or handkerchief.
You wipe Mr. Flobby's mouth with the handkerchief you received from the girl.
That's not his mouth.
Then you hear a quiet voice speak. That's not my mouth, Mr. Flobby murmurs bashfully. It looks like the girl's familiar scent on the handkerchief returned him to normal. Having regained his senses, Mr. Flobby heads back to the village. You place the increasingly sticky handkerchief in your bag.
Return to Unionville. Wow, that was gross. Enter Unionville? Yes.
Lappy approaches and tells you that Mr. Flobby has returned.
Alright, talk with Mr. Flobby. Hello.
The girl is ecstatic that Mr. Flobby is finally back home. I'm happy for you, Melanie says with a smile as she returns the handkerchief. The girl bows her head and thanks you deeply. Mr. Flobby looks as slimy as ever. You just hope it's a happy slime. The headman wants us to bring Mr. Flobby to him. Would you mind, you ask? Of course not, but bring him back soon, she answers with a bright smile.
Uh-oh. Oh. Oh, we've unlocked Mr. Flobby's story. This is concern? Because we for sure know the headman's been eating monsters.
I am so happy to see you safe and sound, the headman exclaims, giving Mr. Flobby a hug. You explain everything that happened, including the incident with Vince and the Ivory Order. He expresses his relief that the Order will be taking care of the criminal. He then thanks you for your hard work and instructs his stewardess to prepare dinner for your party. You can feel your collective mouths watering at the sight of the lavish meal before you.
Look at this feast.
You, Mar, and Ridis immediately dig in. You aren't sure where you find a moment to breathe among all the feasting. Please, eat to your heart's content, the headman insists with a smile. Once your belly is full, you realize that Mr. Flobby is gone. And then... Room for dessert? The headman asks, offering you a plate of slimy jelly. You feel your stomach churning at the very sight of it. The color strikes you as familiar, and the stickiness sends a shiver down your spine.
Could it be?
Is this Mr. Flobby? You ask the headman, your voice trembling in disbelief. The headman looks at you with a plain expression, one that holds no malice. Is that a problem? He questions back. This dish is a masterpiece, he remarks with a light-hearted chuckle as he gazes at the jelly. And I have you brave heroes to thank for it. Had you not brought that slime back, we would not be able to enjoy this exquisite dessert.
Take your leave of Unionville and never return. Bailing, GTFO very fast.
You move to leave, but the headman stops you. I try to get my meat while it's still young and tender, but at least your pet is very plump, he remarks, licking his lips. He points at Mar and asks, would you consider leaving that creature here with me?
How do you respond? No.
Never, you refuse flatly, not bothering to hide your discomfort. Think about it, he entreats, and then... You grab the headman by his lapels, hands trembling in fury.
Wait, are we fighting him? You know, honestly, this is probably fine.
Let's do this.
Oh my god. This man is absolutely nothing. We are going to hit him with the power of suns. Bam! Die! Halt, criminal scum! Isn't this murder? Oh, we knock him out.
You pummel the headman with all your might. Curled up on the ground, the headman groans in pain, but insists that monsters were meant to be eaten. You hug Mar tightly, reassuring him that you will not hand him over to anyone. Mar looks at you with his round eyes and mews softly.
Aww.
You meet eyes with the rest of your party and reach a tacit agreement. Together, you all stand and leave.
Yes.
As you are about to leave the headman's house, though, the old man suddenly charges at you from behind. But Mar, the keener of you two, is quick to block his path. With a crash, Mar and the headman tumble to the ground. From the headman's hand falls a small blade. It clatters to the ground, covered in blood.
Did he just shank Mar?
You take the injured Mar to an inn where you can watch over him. You gaze at the unconscious Mar with concern. Despite the shallow wound, no amount of medicine seems to rouse Mar from the bed. I heard that my friends were in danger, so I came as quickly as I could, Lappy says. As he reaches Mar's bedside, he leans over and licks his wound. "This is what-you-call-it extract," he shouts.
What?
He explains that it is a poison extracted from a certain monster. If it enters the body, it drastically reduces one's stamina. Hearing those words, you realize the headman's blade must have been coated in this poison. Mar's condition starts to make sense. "Isn't there anything we can do?" Melanie asks. Lappy's eyes widen in realization before he places his mouth over Mar's wound and begins sucking. He then puts the what-you-call-it extract into a bottle and hands it to you. Lappy says that if you follow the road south of the village, you will reach Shoreland. He tells you to give the extract to the famous nutritionist there.
Wait, Lappy should go. No.
Realizing that you are at fault for this, you don't hesitate to undertake the quest. But this is strange. The extract comes from a monster, so it should have no effect on one, Lappy remarks with a curious tilt of his head.
Mar was removed from the party. That's strangely convenient. Is that your party? Yes. I've been playing a lot of old school JRPGs. They are majorly that was convenient. Like, it is hilarious how convenient everything works out for the protagonists always. Okay, I have not been here, I guess. Who are these people?
"I thought a beast of that size would eat us out of house and home," she remarks, no doubt talking about Mar.
Mara's dragon. Could be. I doubt it. I doubt it's the dragon that we're hunting. I think Mara's just a something. Wait, what?
The girl sighs. "You're dirty again," she says, wiping a slime's mouth. "Mr. Flobby, you're alive," you exclaim in glee. "This is Mr. Globby, Mr. Flobby's cousin," she tells you.
Well, that's uncomfortable. Okay. Let's hit up the armor real quick. I mean, it could be actually special. We will see once we get there. There we go. It's depressing. Yes. Oh, she can wear the knight's chainmail. I didn't realize that. There's also the fairy dress, but I might as well give her the extra armor. She doesn't need the extra speed. Oh, wait. I might have already had some. Oh, well. It's fine. There. At least now she's kitted out and can fight. Pop back out here. And for the nutritionist. I almost would have actually left somebody behind to guard Mar. Because if the mayor is willing to try... Oh, hello. A monster vanishes in a village where such creatures live together in peace with humankind. While on its trail, the proud witch encounters a one-eyed man from her past. As the Ivory Order and Mysterious Man cross blades, the self-proclaimed heroes slink away to see the missing monster home. The hidden village's secret comes to light. It is united in name alone. A monster falls, protecting the would-be hero from the headman's blade. Knowing they must save their precious companion, the party sets out to the next town, where they meet two stalwart men who devote their lives to nutrition. Okay, that one dude on the right is definitely the next playable character. And is also wearing almost nothing.